all together. But ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna cap things off with our tips for round 14, the last round of the bye week. And there's gonna be some fun ones in this one. I I am actually you are going to end up having a bold tip of the round from me. I've been debating. I've been doing a lot of going back and forth in my head today and throughout the recording this episode. There's some I might be going with some underdogs. Might be going with some underdogs according to the odds or from tipping percentages. But I am going to give you a bold tip of the round. Just you wait. And this feels almost like blasphemous given the praise we were just giving this team a little bit earlier. But I promise you guys one around, and this is a one
That's
I
funny.
don't necessarily want to tip, but I'm going to tip it for you guys anyway because that's my promise. But starting us off on little Thursday night action, we got Richmond and Carlton at the MCG. We have Richmond as a slight favorite, but Carlton is taking the most tips from the AFL website with 57% of them, and I will agree with those tipsters. Let's ride with the Blues.
I'm also with the tipsters. I'm going with Carlton. I just think their bruising ability through the midfield and no Dusty Martin, I think, is going to catch up with this Richmond Tigers team. Kane Lambert is back, which is a great addition, but he's no Dusty Martin. I just think the Blues are going to have just a little too much offense for Richmond, and Richmond has been a little inconsistent going forward of the footy. I think this is a barn burner tomorrow morning. I cannot wait for it. It's going to be a fascinating game to watch, but I'm going to tip the Blues in this one.
Ooh, Danny, a bit of a bummer. I want to point out real quick on the AFL website. They have the gauntlet, which I got eliminated around 6. But the minimum 5 was one I was going with strong. I only got 4 tips right last round, so this bye week bit me. I finally been eliminated from the minimum 5 competition. Oh, that's a bummer. Made to the top 10% though, so okay,
Yeah.
so not too
Well,
bad.
you went 4-2. The only bad part is Brad went 5-1.
Yep.
The only tip you had different was the tip of St. Kilda over Brisbane, and Brad got that. I
This
also tipped Brisbane. Brad tipped all the same tips as me. So again, I can't find a
that's a
way. I
bummer.
can't find a way to catch up to him.
That's why I really
So
wish
I
I
I
tipped
pulled.
Collingwood, man. That would have been too good.
I
Oh,
seriously debate. I seriously thought about it just to see. But knowing me, if I would have done it, then Melbourne would have won. And so
oh, that's really what it feels like, unfortunately.
actually, here's this is how crazy this is. It's like his ears must be burning. I just got a text message from Brad, so I can actually give you Brad's tips as we go on. He
Mm.
is also tipping Carlton in this round,
Okay,
so
so we're all
this
the
is kind
same.
of cool
I
that because
promise
the
I
game is
won't.
Thursday.
Yeah, I won't change my tips to just to beat Brad. I will stand by them.
Alrighty, well let's see. So he's got Carlton in this first game.
All right, next one, heading over to Marvel Stadium, we got the Essendon Bombers taking on the St. Kilda Saints. I believe that the Saints won't fail me this round. Let's go Saints.
All right, and that is going to be a three-way sweep because both Brad and I also have the St. Kilda Saints winning this one. I just don't like Essendon's the way they're going. Yes, St. Kilda had some injuries, but I just don't think Essendon has the firepower to be able to stay up there. I just think St. Kilda's got just a little too much in the midfield there. And with Ryder and Rowan Marshall both playing well in the ruck, I think Draper is going to have a long day. So I have the Saints with this one.
I agree with you on that one. And I'm sure we're going to get another three-way tie with probably these next couple of games, Sydney and Port Adelaide. I'm going with the Swans. It is a pretty close game. It's a pretty close game on the betting line there as well. I think it's correctly, the odds makers did a good job with this one. I still like Sydney, and I'm sure that's the same with you too as well, huh?
This is the terrifying one as a Swans fan
Yeah.
because you don't want to be overly confident because you've been on the bye week. The biggest worry that you have as a Swans fan going into this game is being rusty or being flat coming out of this game, especially on the road at a hostile environment where Port needs to win this. I mean, Port's season is on the line in this game. They this one is
They're
over.
guaranteed to
There's
be
no
out.
way they're making well, they're not mathematically they're
Well,
still in, but
mathematically,
looking at their schedule,
let's
it
be
is
honest.
very,
Let's be
very
honest.
difficult. Very, very difficult. So this is one of those. If I'm the Swans, you need to be ready for a firestorm to start this game,
Yep.
and you need to be defensively sound. You may go behind a little bit, but you just need to quell the storm and keep the fans on their hands a little bit. And I think the way you finish games, I think will come to fruition at the end of it.
Hmm.
I think Sydney wins this one, but this one is very, very close. I'm probably not going to be able to sit still for most of this game because I think this one is going to be a barn burner. To all the Port fans that I know of, I've said this one concerns me a tiny bit. On the road, first game back from a bye, it is never a good combination. So we'll see.
Hmm.
I have Sydney. Brad also has me, but I'm honestly putting my hand up and saying Port's going to be in this. Port, I think this is going to come down. Final 5 minutes of the game. Can Sydney get up and push on the lead, or will this be one of those fingernail biting ones that comes down to the wire?
Very fair. We can move from a potential barn burner to what's expected to be a dumpster fire, and that is anything associated with the West Coast Eagles and especially their game against the Geelong Cats. Ain't no way I am tipping the Eagles. I am tipping the Cats all the way. I'm sure the rest of us are as well.
Yep, three-way run,
Yep.
all Geelong,
So
just too good, even out west.
So same four teams for so we're all in agreement 4 games through. This one where I
Uh,
guess we might get some disagreement. The Giants Stadium, we got the GWS Giants and the Western Bulldogs, one of the best and one of my favorite rivalries in the league right now. I'll take the Swans. This is an interesting one, or it's not the Swans, the other Sydney team, the Giants. The ones I actually like. Wow. But this is an interesting one because betting wise, the Giants are coming here as close favorites. They are up by 8 cents on the Western Bulldogs, but they're only at 47% of the tipster's choice. I'll ride with my Giants. I'll probably get this one wrong, but let's go, boys. I got some confidence in you.
all right, you want the good news or the bad news?
I'll take the bad news.
Bad news. You're not going to gain any games because Brad has also
Oh,
selected
bastard.
GWS. Good news is I feel left out on this because I have the Western Bulldogs, and here's the reason that I say this. I like the way GWS is playing, but I also look at their winning games, but they're winning games against bad
Don't
teams.
talk
They
about
beat
that. It's a
North,
win. It's 4 points.
they
There's
beat
4 points and
Essendon, and they
4 points.
beat the West Coast Eagles. So it's we're I want to see this GWS team tested, and this will be it. If
That's a
GWS
test.
wins this, GWS is the team I thought they were. They drop this one. GWS is a little bit of a flash in the pan team. I'm worried they face a Dougie's team that is inspired because they know they got to keep winning because they're around Collingwood, they're around Richmond, and they're winning games of 42. You are going to face an inspired team and a GWS team that honestly, most people have already said they know they're not going to make the finals. So, do they give maximum effort in this game? And can the Western Bulldogs get up on it? This is going to be a tough one.
I think
I
they give
agree.
effort. It's
GWS
rivalry,
is
man. Everyone
well,
gets up for this one.
GWS is one of those teams that I still haven't seen what I thought I would see this year. I thought GWS was going to be in the finals contention, and they haven't been. Yes, they've had injuries. Yes, they didn't have Toby Green to start off with. But
They're
even
still
since
pulled.
Toby has come back, there are still issues there. Now, it's not only on Coach Cameron's fault, and I think what Spike McVay has come in and done has been really well. He has really made this team much more aggressive
Mm-hmm.
offensively. But the issue you run into is sometimes when you get super aggressive offensively, it leaves you vulnerable down back. So this will be fascinating to see, will that aggressiveness attacking the footy hurt them with a doggies team that is very good at quick handballs and getting out the back. So I'm going to tip Western Bulldogs, but this is one of those I bounce back and forth because GWS, though in the tipping competition that I see, they are heavily underdogged at 66-34.
Mm-hmm.
I like them at home at Giant Stadium. So this is one of those I did bounce back and forth. I'm going to tip the Western Bulldogs on this one and hope that a team that needs to stay in the finals has an inspired run after a bye week.
Time for a giant performance, boys. Now you guys might be wondering to yourselves, Ross, some of these, yeah, they're underdogs. They're not the best tips, but they're not necessarily bold. Well, here you go. be patient because I got one for you. The Adelaide Crows are being the Gold Coast Suns. You can book it. And even though we were doing all this talking up about how underrated and how good Gold Coast is and how much we love them, which I still do, and I still think all of those, so it's definitely weren't lies. You want a bold tip? You're going to get one. You got the Adelaide Crows knocking out the Suns at Metricon Stadium. You put that. Don't take that money to the. Well, actually, I don't know. Your money in the bank isn't really doing anything right now. I don't know. You might even bet it.
It's gaining interest depending on what bank you have.
Oh, Wells Fargo shill out here. We're not sponsored by, but wait, I'm
Oh
assuming
boy.
both of you guys are going with Gold Coast. Be the smart thing to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going with Gold Coast just because Adelaide's inconsistencies, but I will raise my hand on this one. I double taked on this one a couple of times because Adelaide is a team that, again, I've said it numerous times, they are a Jekyll and Hyde team. There are games they are absolutely fantastic to watch, and then there are games they are absolutely putrid. So I don't know what Adelaide Crows team we're going to get. Are we going to get an inspired Tex Walker that kicks 4 goals and really drags Adelaide over the line?
Yes.
Or do we get a Tex Walker that is somewhat invisible at times and doesn't do much? So I'm going to tip Gold Coast. I think what they're doing right now, it's hard to deny. They're at home. They're playing lights out. They're playing inspired footy, and they just look really, really good on the park. I'm going to tip Gold Coast, but this is going to be a barn burner because if the Crows come to play, this is an even more even matchup. Some people are giving it credit for. I cannot wait for this one. Last game of the round, going to be fascinating. But this one's going to be tough. This one's going to be, this was tough to pick. I almost picked Adelaide as well.
Tex is going to kick 5, and I'm going to look like a genius. And then if they don't win, probably, then I'll just look like, my typical self. So it is what it is. But I had to give myself one way to gain some ground on Brad, damn it. And I'm going to, you got to take risks. At least one risk around to be able to catch up to this man. So, Adelaide, come through for me, boys. Tex Walker, come through for me, please, because that would make me very, very happy. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us with our breakdown for round 13.